JQ. This is only the second time of me ever being engineer guy.
You've done it a few times.
And every time I'm like, oh, buddy.
It sounds like I'm only coming through on my left side. Can you check in console that it's not panned weird?
Yeah, I'm getting mostly left.
You're getting left as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just told you that I don't like doing the engineering thing. And you're like, while we're here,
Yeah.
I noticed that if I could get a little bit more in the monitor, I don't even know what I'm like. Okay, sure.
No, you know console. You remember console?
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
Remember console?
Do you remember the application?
You've seen it before?
You've seen it before, yeah.
I don't know where console is.
Okay.
I don't know.
Just go to applications.
Oh God, I lost my other screen.
And then go to console. Should be right there.
Are we streaming already?
We are streaming.
Oh, you started the streaming already?
Yeah, because
it's fine. I don't give a shit.
Well, because I wanted to get that part up and going.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. You got rocket ships to send off.
Yeah, I have a lot of things.
There's a lot of things to do. There's like, just going live. There's like 8 to 10 buttons that need to be pressed. It's insane.
I wanted to stumble and fall publicly, not like in private.
That's kind of how we roll, though.
Transparency.
Yeah, for transparency.
Kind of how we roll.
I wanted everybody to see how much of a bimbo I was and how difficult it was, because I want people to feel pride and pity.
Yes.
Where they're like,
you want them to relate to you.
They're like, wow, I too am an idiot and I struggle, and look how it's going. She's doing it. So I'm in console now.
Okay. Do you see? We should be channels 2 and 3, or 1, 2, 3.
So 1 and 2.
Do you see any of those panned? The wrong, like to the left or right or whatever the fuck.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Do you see the L and the R, and just like a knob?
Oh, okay. One's all the way on R.
Yeah. Fix that and make it go just 12 o'clock. I don't know why it defaults to that, and it's like this weird setting that there. See, fixed. Look at
Oh my God.
Look at that.
I did it
live on air.
Guys.
That was really impressive.
I thank you so much.
We did it as a team.
We all did it together.
And see, there was faith, right? You have to have faith before we can revel in scientific basis and fact. You know?
That was my role. I manifested this. I was manifesting the audio.
For sure.
The whole time. We're manifesting the audio that we want to see in the podcast. See, this actually, it is good that you're here, Shmoo, from the beginning. Yeah, just get because I would What's
up now?
Well, no, I'm just saying, because if it was all on me and that happened, I'd be like, I'm sorry, that's how we have to do it. I would roll with it. I wouldn't.
Yeah, you just roll.
First off, I wouldn't have been affected. I wouldn't have known at all. So unless you brought it to my attention, I would have just.
Check this out. I'm about to fix the thing. Ready?
You're fixing another thing?
There's one little.
For the record, I would not have noticed unless you brought it up.
Are you trying to show off something?
Yeah, but it didn't work.
But it didn't work.
There was like a buzz that started, and I was like, maybe I can fix it. No, I can't. No. It's okay.
But here we are.
We are
so close to having everything up and going.
And then we'll do a proper intro, and
we'll fucking hash it up.
We'll hash it up. We'll chop it up. We like to do long format, just chill, hang out.
Slow burn.
It's a slow burn because I guess philosophically, for me at least, I find the best comedy just comes up organically when you're not trying to be funny. You're just chopping it up, and then, like Jesse says, the funniest shit I've ever heard anyone say in my life.
Jesse's really funny.
Really funny.
Thank you, guys.
When we're just like in the middle, I mean, we also have really good banter, and we're comfortable enough with each other where we can argue, but it's not arguing. It's we were talking about the Jewish term. Remember, Jesse? Kibitz. It's kibitzing.
Kibitz versus kvetch.
Yeah, kvetching is like whining and complaining, but kibitzing is just like it's a Jewish style of banter where like you're aware.
You're kikiing, baby.
You're
talking shit. You're showing.
Yeah. It's like ball busting, but it's fun.
Nice.
A light roasting.
Yeah, but we're able to get into really good grooves with that.
Thank you.
Like we have good. We have Do you know what I mean? Like we're comfortable enough at this point. We've been doing it long enough with each other where we can go really far into a battle and it's still like we still love each other. It's not
It's all love, bro.
it's all love, bro. Exactly.
Cool. Well, now
Yeah.
I have a mission for this podcast to break this friendship.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to take a spear and
Yes.
just wedge us apart somehow.
Just like slow, like mind fuckery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you would you say you're wizardy?
I can be now.
starting
Yeah,
starting right now.
Right now, you've inspired me. I'll get some like.
Mm-hmm.
I'll like do it with like crystals. I like find a crystal.
Yeah.
But, like this is the division crystal. This isn't like healing.
I love a division
It's a
crystal.
chaos crystal.
You know that we're both so gullible, right? We're so susceptible. Like if you really sold us on it, I'd be like, oh my God, the energies are. I think she's right. The energies are like telling me we really shouldn't hang out anymore. And then I saw this bird and it like stopped, it stopped and I like looked at it and I thought about that bird. And I think that bird says that we can't be friends anymore. Like I think that's like a sign from the universe.
It's a sign. Yeah,
Yeah.
a black cat crossed my
And I'm
path, and
just-
it's a sign.
I'm pretty sure.
There's a black cat in the studio.
Yeah. Monkey's great.
Hello.
Look, he's crossing.
Jesse, how do you
everybody's
feel
crossing
how do you
the
feel about us switching roles today since
Oh.
I'm only here for the first 20 minutes or so?
path. I am acting. Oh, monkey, hi.
Yeah.
Are you
should I
allergic
pet
at
him?
all?
Or-
He's-
Oh, yeah,
he's
pet.
Super friendly.
I am a little allergic, but I love cats, so it's
Okay.
worth it. I will
Okay.
suffer for you.
Okay.
Because we can move
I
him
will
too.
suffer. No, it's 100% fine.
I like
Okay.
also monkey is like he's like a cat that thinks he's a dog. He's like, I just want to chill.
Yeah, I was like, cats usually aren't this nuzzly to strangers.
He's like he's a slut. He's like does not give a fuck. He's like fresh meat.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like less problematic, but definitely like the Johnny Bravo of cats. You know,
Johnny Bravo. He's
Yeah.
you're a himbo kitty cat.
definitely a Kimbo Kitty.
Himbo
Johnny Bravo's the mixed martial artist.
It was a Cartoon Network show about a 30-year-old that lived with his mom.
Oh, I'm thinking of Eddie Bravo. Sorry.
And
I got Eddie and Johnny.
Same day.
like pretty much
Because
the
he's
same
also
thing.
a himbo, right?
Yeah, no, Johnny
Yeah.
Bravo was like a 30-year-old that lived with his mom.
Oh, he
And,
lived
like,
with his
best-
mom in the show?
Yeah, and his best friend was like a little.
Should
kid.
I just,
He
like,
was
push him?
I'm like, yeah. okay.
Cool.
He's like, I love
I
you.
can,
but-
oh no, he's clawing on.
Yeah. Oh, I should also explain I'm wearing my sunglasses because I broke my glasses.
Oh no.
And this is my only prescription. And if I don't wear them, I'm pretty blind.
Cool. I am
Yeah.
also blind without glasses or contacts. I would have worn my contacts, but I got a sty in my eye from not taking out my contacts all of Comic-Con last
Oh,
week
really?
and wearing heavy makeup.
How was that? Comic-Con.
It was fun. It was fun. It was my first time ever going, and it was interesting this year because due to the SAG strike, no like famous actors were able to come except for like Jamie Lee Curtis was there to promote like her own book, so there were no like big panels for shows and stuff. So it was just like the floor with the like shops and the comic books and everything. So it was like a big like nerdy shopping mall, which I
That's very
enjoyed.
fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've been to a couple of smaller Comic-Cons, but never like the big boy.
Mm.
Yeah, I've
big
only
boy.
been to the big boy now.
Wow,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite comic?
What's my favorite comic? Well, full disclosure, I went because I got a guest pass from a friend.
Okay, well that's totally
So
fine.
like I don't know a ton about comics. I was just like, oh my god, an opportunity to go. But I mean, I was like X-Men growing up, read some of that. and,
Hell
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like some comics, but I also am not super into comics. I'm what you would call like a girlfriend chameleon. So everybody that I've dated, I've just slowly like
Why do you think I care about baseball at all?
that's why I like
Why do you
baseball.
think I give a shit about baseball?
I hated baseball beforehand.
Like,
I like
yeah,
playing
but-
it as a kid.
Oh, you played baseball.
I played
That's
well
cool.
softball.
Same, yeah.
Same thing. I don't know why we have to have the bigger ball. That's more awkward to like catch and throw.
It's softer and kind of like, you know, when you're a kid, sometimes more dangerous because like
It's-
the tiny ball's not gonna hit people in the head. Everybody's missing, but the big ball you can chuck that at somebody.
Yeah, it's an orange versus a grapefruit.
Yeah.
It's weird. Didn't care about baseball till I dated a guy that loved baseball, and then I know so much about baseball now.
Yeah.
And I like going to baseball games. I I retain the information like the Borg. I'm like, this is now a part of my personality. I already invested the time to be the cool girlfriend.
Yeah,
I might as well take
let
that.
go of this part of my lore. Like, gotta keep it in the back burner.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also why I like comics, and but I'm like, I don't like superheroes.
Oh.
I like the anti-hero. You know,
Cool.
I'm it's like super cliche. I'm realizing as I get older where I'm like, oh, like you got a type. You think you're the rebel. All right, punk rock girl.
The bad boy type.
Yeah,
like Deadpool
I'm like,
or like.
Yeah, like Deadpool, the Goon, you know, Preacher, all those. I'm like, yeah, you know, I like The Walking Dead.
Yes.
I didn't really watch the show too much, but it's like this is too scary. It was scary as a comic book, but like I can't really handle like
the graphic, like the guts pouring out. There's a lot of that in the later seasons because they kind of like gave up on writing and were like, let's just show like brains exploding.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, even in the comic, you know, I stopped reading the comic because the comic got to be too much for me, and it was too graphic. And there was where like there was like a scene where they're like smushing somebody's brains out, and it was like a beloved character, and you're like, I'm like sobbing my fucking eyes out, and I'm also like, I've never pictured brains coming out like.
Yeah,
that.
I didn't need this like mental image.
No, I didn't need that. I'm already terrified of the world. Like enough.
Yeah, I'm terrified of my own imagination and the imagination of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Thank you for coming on the show. Our wonderful.
Oh yeah, let's
guest.
do an intro. Give us a little intro, Buttons.
Elyza,
Elyza, welcome.
Halpern, yes.
Oh, I nailed it. Cool. AKA the artist known on Instagram as PossumGirl.
Yes.
Wonderful comedian. Saw you at Sweet Stuff Mike.
So you at Sweet Stuff Mike.
Yeah.
How many people have we had on our show from that open mic?
Honestly, I think you're number 3.
Really? Wow.
You're number 3, and I think that we're gonna have a 4th, Alexa.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really great. Yeah, we had Paul and we had Effie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best mics in town.
It
Looking
was
for a new home.
It was so chill. That was like that was my second time. And I was like, ooh. And I just loved everybody. I loved everybody's set. And I was like, well, now that I've seen you, I'm like, now I want to get everybody alone and ask them questions. And I'm like, you want to be friends? Come on my show. We can be friends.
Come down this remote road to the studio in an attic.
Yeah, I'm like, it's very harmless. I just, you know, as an adult, it's hard to make friends.
JQ is calling me.
He's kept calling you.
Me, yeah.
Okay.
JQ?
Yo, could you guys shoot me the confirmation code?
Let's see here.
Yeah. Oh my God. Look, see, wonderful that Shmoo is here to shoot over confirmation codes.
This is from Instagram?
Something somewhere.
Okay.
I was gonna say, coming to this podcast is like everything you learn not to do in like, you know, anti-weed education. Like I went to an address, didn't know where it was, with someone I met wants to go be on camera while smoking weed.
This is what they warned you not to do.
This is exactly what I'm not supposed to do.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
having a lot of fun.
I love that. Yeah, we're it's good to have you here. UFOs. The government, they didn't really say they're real. They just said that we know that people have been telling us that they see them.
Yeah.
Where?
And also nobody cares. Like,
Nobody cares. Everyone's worried about more important things.
It should be the
there's like way scarier things going on. Like
Yeah,
I have a little
there's
the
no
little clip
Instagram
to share with everybody.
notification.
Oh, this guy.
This guy,
Groosh?
Try doing it again.
little alien like himself.
Are there any memes where he's Gru from Despicable
Oh
Me?
my God, I want to see that.
Okay.
Former. Okay.
Got it.
Wait, that's not what I want.
This PBS News special
What's
is a
that? That's not what I
co-production
want.
of PBS
No,
News
it's
Hour
not what I
and
want at all.
Oh no, we have
with
like
major
education
support
now.
from
Yeah, they're like, no, baby.
I don't want to learn things today.
I was like, I never said that I wanted that.
Thank you,
go.
Mr. Chairman, and I want to
Here we
thank
go.
first our witnesses for joining us
All
today.
right, bye.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
So
Absolutely.
we're not
based
even live
interviewing,
on
over 40
TikTok or
witnesses of
Instagram or
offenders.
YouTube
Do you
yet,
believe UAPs
but we
Perfect.
pose a potential
on the
threat to
verge
national security?
of
Yes.
massive success.
The technology that
with
we
restreaming.
faced was far superior than anything that we had. If you had one, you captured one, you reverse engineered it, you got it to work.
We have a fun
You're talking
cancel
something
button.
that can go into space, go someplace, drop down in a matter of seconds,
Yeah.
do whatever it
Oh,
wants.
I didn't
and
realize
leave.
we were listening to something.
And
What
there's
are we listening
nothing
to?
we can do
The
about it.
Do you
whistleblowers,
have any
baby.
personal knowledge
Oh.
of people
The
who've been harmed
whistleblowers.
or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology?
Yes.
Extraterrestrial technology.
Anyone been murdered that you would think that you know of or have heard of? I guess.
I have to be careful asking that question. I directed
Answering that
people with
question.
that knowledge
Not
to the
asking.
appropriate authorities.
What percentage of UAP sightings, in your belief, go unreported by our pilots?
I would estimate we're somewhere near 5% reporting, perhaps.
So like 95% basically don't report seeing UAPs.
That's just my personal estimate.
Just a personal estimate. I like how I heard about this, and then like there's like the long format, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got it, whatever. They said they were like aliens and stuff, and nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Did you? I'm like I don't care. I don't care unless the aliens are gonna blow me up before I get to go see the Barbie movie. Like I don't.
100%. Like, are they gonna pay? Are the aliens gonna pay our rent?
Are they gonna zap the billionaires?
Are they gonna zap the billionaires? You know what that reminded me of, that clip? Like, listen, if it's real, amazing. But it reminded me of when, like, you're at a job interview and they're asking, like, oh, do you know how to do, like, use, like, this program? And you have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. So you're just being like, oh, yeah, no, afterwards I can definitely get you some, like, evidence of, like, my past work in, like that's,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if you just can't say it or they're just, like, avoiding the question.
Yeah, no, I feel that all the time. I do the same thing when they're like, oh, you're bilingual. And I'm like, yeah, totally. Super bilingual. Yeah. The most bilingual. Not. I mean, I'm like, I can order food. But
Yeah, well, that's fine. You didn't say in what context.
you didn't say how.
Yeah, you didn't say how well you speak the second language.
No, I'm just trying to get the job, baby. Like, why do you want to be here? Because I don't want to die. I would like to survive another day, please.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would like some tokens for the food and shelter, maybe some drugs and like something cute to wear. I'm just point A to point B, baby.
Yeah, I'm like, there was like a hole to the outside in my apartment for the first like 6 months I'd lived there. Yeah, why do you think I want this job?
Yeah. You had the pool in your apartment.
Oh, it wasn't a pool. I wish it was a pool.
It was the leaking. I had told you. I was like, oh, they're gonna charge you for like having access to a pool now.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, watch out. They'll get you on those amenities. We have a washer and dryer at my apartment place. Never works. It just eats the coins. I'm just like, well, you can't tell me that that's like an added amenity when it's not. We all have to do laundry offsite. Don't lie to us.
It's actually
There's no parking.
A transformer that like actually does eat coins, and one day it's gonna like be like, "Hello, Jesse, I'm your new friend."
Okay, if that honestly, that's the best case scenario. I'm all for that.
Yeah, you gotta believe in magical realism to get through life in this city.
I love that. Well, the thing is that I'm going to start developing. I already have anxious attachment. If I do that, I'm going to start forming like weird bonds with inanimate objects. Have you seen those like where it's like I'm in love with blow up animals and like the guy has a bunch of like pool floaties and he's like
yeah, like those reality shows from the 2000s.
Yeah,
it's like I'm in love with a bridge. Or
and you're like, how are you in love with this fence? And it's like, well, before she was into fences, she had a barn. And you're like, oh, yeah.
Getting more grounded.
Yeah, I'm like, I think if I start incorporate, I'm already whimsical. So
it's dangerous to be a whimsical bitch in this world.
Yeah, I'm already living in delusion.
100%.
So I part of me has to be like, you have to stay grounded in something. Is it real?
Yeah.
But that transformer washing machine?
I believe that before I believe that we know exactly where the aliens are.
I think that my childhood crush, Tom DeLonge from Blink-182, feels very vindicated.
Got it.
And he claims to own a piece of UFO wreckage. He's also been funding this whole program for a while. And he's just, I don't want to say that he's a nutter because like if he ever like watches this or sees this, I want to be like, no, baby, I would never say that about you. Yeah. They're wild. They're lying.
He edited her to say that.
Isn't his program named after
his band?
An album by his band. What's his band called again?
Angels and Airways.
Angels and Airways. An album like To the Stars or some shit like that. Doesn't that sound familiar?
Yeah, something like that. I don't
Something
like the solo
Scientology-esque.
stuff. I also
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
tell him that.
Also, on that tip, I feel like Angels and Airwaves aesthetic is very Scientology.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to admit it.
A little Scientology-ish. Esque.
It's like,
whatever.
I'm just happy that he didn't go right wing, you know? Because I feel like he's like,
Could have been worse, is what you're saying?
yeah, they're all kind of like SoCal guys from the OC. Yeah, they're skater boys, but I feel like they're early 2000s Southern California men are just like, a lot of them turn Republic. I think that's
Totally. Like a good thing they went aliens and not QAnon. Like they went
Right.
right conspiracy path.
Yeah. There's always, life is all about choices.
Yes.
And picking a path.
Well, it's like the guitarist of Deftones is a flat earther, and he's a QAnon guy.
No,
Yeah.
I love Deftones so much. We're gonna rank and rate all the Deftones albums. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. Isn't that disappointing?
Flat Earther.
Stephen Carpenter is the guitarist from Deftones, and he's also anti-vax. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fits. So he's got the whole he checks all the boxes.
All
You
the
have to have
boxes.
all of them. I don't
Yeah.
think you get one. It's like the Holy
Yeah.
Trinity. You don't believe.
Yeah. Well-rounded dumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to fully commit. I do love passion though. I'm like, oh wow, you said that with your whole chest, you know. And I'm like, but that's why I'm happy Tom went this way.
Cool.
Here's this
Good
little
for you,
clip.
Tom.
Little clip of him with Steve-O, it just all feels really early 2000s. And it's like, I kind of hate that I crush on it because I also feel like those were the dudes that would have made fun of me growing up. It's like I'm simping in the wrong way. Like, no, they made fun of you. Don't you remember?
I get that sometimes because it's like, they're inaccessible. Like, if they like me, I'm so cool. But
Yeah.
it's like, no.
No, it's like, it's weird inner pick me things that I think I have to work through.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best in
me.
life.
Maybe you can help me find this documentary. I went down the rabbit hole on YouTube 10 years ago, and it was the man who spoke 100 language, and he worked. He visited the White House during the Eisenhower, and he was like well liked, and everybody liked him. And then I couldn't find this documentary anywhere, so I'm like, is this a figment of my imagination, or?
There's these stories, Valiant Thor and the stranger at the Pentagon. Yeah, where a dude shows up that's super smart, says he's from Venus, and he's hanging out in the Pentagon at these things, and he's giving us all this knowledge. 2 things, 3 things. 1, it's either true or it's not. 2, he's lying. He's not from Venus or something. Or 3, he's from here, or and he's lying from where he's from. But the idea of, I'll say it this way, I personally, in my own opinion, subscribe to face-to-face interactions and technology transfer and all that kind of stuff. I believe there's a possibility for that to have existed. I say this because I have pieces of wreckage from the 40s under a defense contract with the government right now, and you can look that up. If you look up Tom DeLonge Army material, you'll see all the articles. It's the first time in history the U.S. government's talking about doing, a defense contract on purported UFO material. We've had that for a couple of years. It's being studied in like crazy ways. I can't talk much about it, but if I have that, I would imagine that some of the governments in the world have a lot more than I got, and we're not saying that this is real. We're saying it's highly, it's highly anomalous. It's the engineering on this one piece looks to be fucking crazy. And that is still looking to be the case here after having this contract for the past couple of years. They've been studying it. So if there's nothing to this, we would have lost that contract like 2 months into it, So we'll see where it goes and all that kind of stuff. But if I have a piece and it's looking to be pretty gnarly, then I'm assuming that other places have some way bigger pieces. So if that's the case, then it's easy for me to say, well, then I feel there's a high likelihood that there's been encounters, there's been conversations, there's been interactions, there's been landings, there's been technology transfers, there's been something. But I do not know, like I can sit there and say, yeah, they brought me in and I hung out with this dude that said he's from Venus. That's never going to happen. But I just think it's highly likely that something like that exists.
It's called Steve-O's Hot Sauce for Your Butthole. And if you go on Amazon and type in Steve-O's Hot Sauce for Your Butthole, and Order yourself a
Merch.
bottle.
Oh
You'd be
my
really
God.
helping me.
man.
Because right now we're ranked number 30 on all of Amazon. And if you buy a bottle, we might go up the ladder. And that would mean a
Steve-O
lot.
merch
So
king.
please, get on
Merch
Amazon
king.
and buy Steve-O's hot sauce for your butthole. Yeah.
Steve-O's always been a hot
Yeah,
sauce.
dude.
Yes, and I also like that he's just like very openly pimping himself out. He's like, yeah, I'm the dude from Jackass, and I spent my life getting kicked in the balls for lots of money. I'm sober now, and I'm selling hot sauce for your fucking asshole, bro.
Yeah.
I know that millennial men love me. They're
It's all
God.
the
He's an
things
icon.
They wanted to do that their parents wouldn't let them because they wanted them to like have a future and not like
Yeah.
be injured for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I'm happy that he's like I love it.
Yeah.
It's like Limp Bizkit doing their like comeback thing, and like Fred Durst being like, I'm admitting that like I was an idiot and an asshole, and being like, I'm gonna
I didn't know about the Limp Bizkit's arc.
Yeah, no, Fred Durst has kind of came back and been like, yeah, they played Woodstock, I guess, recently, and they were like, oh yeah, we remember '99, that was bad, we did bad there. I kind of started a little bit of a riot,
Wow, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole about the Limp Bizkit riot of
Oh,
'99.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was gross. It was the late '90s, or right about that Y2K time.
Got it.
The mud pit got real wild. People were getting groped.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was like it was pre-Astro World, like festival falling apart kind of thing, and
Over a Limp Bizkit concert? No offense. But
yeah,
over a Limp
they really did it all for the fucking nookie. It was.
Oh, that song is him.
Yeah.
Okay, got
yeah.
it.
I actually love to karaoke Limp Bizkit.
Nice.
It not only just because it's funny, right? But men in a certain demographic, every time they're just like secretly they're cool guys, and they're like, I don't like really like that shit, but I really liked that shit.
It's like a bird's mating call.
Yeah, they're like
the sage grouse that'll puff out its chest. It's like that.
It's never the guy that I want, though. It's like the gas station guy, vibes. He's like, yo, that song's sick. He's like, I have a homie that could give you a tattoo. I see you like tattoos. It will be out of my cousin's garage, but like,
it'll be behind the windshield wiper station at the gas
yeah,
station.
like, do you want to come back to my house? I got a lot of top ramen,
I got a lot, every flavor.
And we got Mad Dog. Like, we can get really fucked up, and maybe you can let me finger blast you. And you know what? Part of me's like, it's really sweet. Like, it's the thought that counts,
Yeah,
right?
sounds like a fun Friday night.
It's the thought that counts. I really. Like, oh my God, it was really sweet. Yeah. He shared his last cigarette with me.
Yeah, I think I got hepatitis from this floor, but
yeah. He asked if he can borrow $20 tomorrow, and I said, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's okay. He's like in between jobs right now. It's fine. Yeah. I've been there before
just
too.
helping him out. Yeah.
Yeah, I love helping men out. I'm really into it.
We have a real bond.
We have a it's really close and personal. And it's called my imagination. Once again, it's because I'm delusional. Any relationship I get into, I'm like, you don't understand. It's magic when we're together. And I'm like, baby, you're the magic. It's you, because you're delusional and you're creating this person that doesn't exist. You're projecting.
Yeah.
And I love that for you, because, wow, every person that you meet, you can fall in love with. But that's also like,
yeah, it's like, oh my God, I met a dude who's like nice to me.
That's so crazy.
What?
That's so crazy.
How does this happen?
It's really what I recently I've been in therapy for a long time, and I was like, I am going to raise my standards, and I got boring really quickly and lonely, and I was like, oh my God, this is so stupid. I was like, oh my God, no, I didn't mean it. You could just text me back whenever. And then I was like, oh, I hate this. Oh, I was like, oh, we have to go back to those fucking standards.
Yeah, you like delete the BetterHelp or whatever, and add like an app to like align you and like your new boyfriend's like moon signs to see if like it aligns up.
It's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad.
I've been there.
I'm like, why am I like this? I'm like, stop being a pick me. And I'm like, okay, what if I'm just like, I'm not a pick me, but I just want to make sure that I'm like presentable on the shelf, so you can just like, oh, look at, I'd love to have a girlfriend. There's a girlfriend right there. I'll put one in the cart, and I'm like,
exactly. It's like I don't have to be the one on like the display at the end of the aisle under lights, but I don't want to be like, oh, this is a messed up box. Let me straighten my box. My box is really messed up. Let's go. That sounded wrong. I mean, like metaphorically.
Yeah, straightening up your metaphorical box.
Yes, my metaphorical Barbie box that we're all
yeah, exactly. I know. I'm like, sis, honestly, sometimes I'm both. I'm like everything. I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. Okay.
Yeah. Who does, honestly? You see, you feel like you don't know what's happening. Nobody knows. These people who, even if they know where the UFOs are, these guys still don't know what the fuck is happening.
Nobody, they don't know.
Nobody does.
Nobody knows what's happening. Yeah. I have another clip though, so we can get more into it because I actually didn't do any research. I was like topical. I was like,
oh my God, they said there's UFOs. We're gonna do a show today. We should do it about UFOs. Because I think people are going to like talk about it a lot. They'll like it.
You see, you're doing that voice, but like that's just marketing. That's just good marketing.
Thank
you know,
you.
that's just finding a trending topic and being like, maybe there's aliens. If there are, what are we going to do?
Right? What are we going to do?
What?
My take is the same as everybody else's take. I'm just hopping on the train.
Yeah, just hop on.
Bimbos are great at marketing. That's all it is. So we're just like,
that's our strength.
Like we're just like, yeah, I just want like everybody to know about this, and I just want it to be cute, and like what's gonna get engagement, what's gonna get attention. What do you want? It's actually people pleasing at its finest. It's like smooth brain.
All of social media is like mass people pleasing.
Yeah, you're just like
what is he gonna like me? It's that, but like for a bunch of like 20-year-olds on the gram.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah. You were wildly popular on TikTok.
It ebbs and flows.
Does it ebb and flow?
Yeah, it's like sometimes I'll have like one that does really well, and then a bunch that get like 200 views, and like 100 of them are like people you either like do comedy with or went to college with or something.
You're like, oh, thank you for the support.
Like, oh, the leg, yeah.
They're like, hope you're making it out there, kid. It's definitely its own vibe. I feel like TikTok's like really intimidating. I'm not quite sure how old you are.
I'm 28.
Okay. Yeah. So you're Gen Z. So you're
Gen Zers would say I'm definitely a millennial. I have a friend who's 22 who calls me like the aging hag. In a nice way.
Yeah, that's what they love to do.
Yeah,
that's their like
I won't know about like Fortnite or like what it was like to have to do Common Core math in school because I missed that by like a year.
Yeah, no, they I love. I always joke with like my friends. I'm like, I'm 35, so I'm a hardcore millennial, and they'll be like,
I think I'm like I'm tail end of millennial. You're hardcore millennial.
Yeah, hardcore like.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, I don't want to wear them. Like, I'm not going to look good in the mom jeans. I'm like, I want them to be tight fitting. I also grew up punk. So I was like, before skinny jeans were a thing, we were sewing our pants. We used to call it pegging.
That's a fun name.
Different type of pegging. But we were tightening all of our jeans like that. So when they started just making them like that.
Yeah, tightening up the holes for the pegging.
We were like, we're tightening pegs and holes and. I was already about it, so like it's really hard for me to let go of certain things, and then like.
Interesting.
But I feel like the Gen Z people, it's always giving me like, I'm 8.5. They're like, really obsessed with like, I mean, I think generation goes through like the other older generation being a cringe. Everybody's cringe.
We're all cringe.
There's no way to avoid it, but I always think like. For me, anyways, TikTok is like a reminder, like, cause I'm like having fun, and in my head, I'm like, I'm just being cute and having fun, and then somebody's like, you can't dance. That outfit's like, I've had really kids will just shred you.
They'll say whatever. You know, the scariest thing is when you think like, oh, this is just a kid being an asshole, and then it's okay. I've cursed a bunch of times. It's okay if I curse on this, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
But like, you think it's a kid being an asshole, and then you go to the profile, and it's like a 40-year-old guy with like who's married with like 3 kids, all of whom are like in middle school. It was like, how do you talk to your family if you talk to us this way? Like random people on the internet.
It is. People are so wild. They're out of pocket. I am like, I very rarely beef with people on the internet. I put a lot of myself out on the internet. I'm like, you can find my butthole, but what you can't find is me saying unkind words to some every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then when I do, it's really funny because I actually don't have internet arguments. I'm just like, shut up. And then people are like, I don't have to, but I've already gone. Like, for me, it's cathartic. I just said it, and then I just,
And just leave it. Yeah, I said what I need to say.
And it's so funny because it's not a good mic drop, but it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna add to that?
You can't always reach for the mic drop, and you can't always like be like, oh, I'm gonna be the one to change this random person on the internet's perspective.
No, I just want them. I'm just like, shut up.
Just go away.
Just go away.
Just go away. Yeah.
And sometimes, you know what? It doesn't matter because I still get my little likes because people like that comment when you say shut up. People are like, and I'm like, who's winning now? I still got my little.
Oh, you watched this? That's engagement.
Yeah, exactly. You watched it. You commented. I still got my dopamine. You can't take that away from me.
You can't.
So do you know more about the UFOs? You said that you have a series.
Oh, my series is like the Joe Biden, Barack Obama, like AI voiceover.
Yeah, love that.
But I'm just doing one episode about the like aliens that's coming out tomorrow on my Instagram. But I mean, all I know about UFOs, like I followed the conspiracy theories before, and like here's my thing is like the government's hiding stuff from us. Obviously, the military hides stuff from us. Is it aliens or is it like whatever else is being hidden?
I'm just like, why are we talking about it now?
Why suddenly now all sorts of stuff going on in the world? Like why right now?
I'm always like, well, yeah, it's a weird sleight of hand thing where I'm just like, what are you doing? I'm like, you already did the reproductive rights. We're doing affirmative action. Okay, what are you doing? That we're just gonna like, they're like, the aliens are coming, and then they're like, okay, guys, now it's time to get the barcodes. Everybody has to get your like Apple, like tap pay.
Yeah, to make sure you're human, so we can track everything you do.
Yeah, and I'm like, you guys already know what I jerk off to. Like, leave me alone.
Everything's out there. They got us. It's like, don't try to distract us with, again, maybe if it's real, incredible, but don't distract us with this. Like, we know, like, we're all fucked.
We're all really desensitized
Nobody has
to
rights.
it.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, it's not even like, it's not like, it is a joke, but it's also, I think that's like the way that, especially Gen Z copes with everything. They're like, yeah, we inherited this like garbage fire and it's all on fire, and like you're like, oh my god, the orcas, they're sinking yachts, and then you're like, oh my god, they made a penis-shaped rocket, the billionaires, and then people are peeing in bottles. There's like too many things to like keep up with, and people are like, gotta do the dance, and
it's like there's too much coming at you at once. It's like, give me the facts of what I need to know to like protect people from like harm. Like, just tell me the really awful shit, and then like
everybody's just
stuff.
like, let's prioritize things. They're like, this little clip about Barack. Speaking of your Barack and Joe Biden series, asking him, this was like a year ago, I think, if there's aliens in the government lab.
Former President Barack Obama know about UFOs.
When it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you on air.
He was asked about the UFO frenzy in the wake of that explosive 60-minute story on Navy pilots who've seen things they just can't explain.
It's rotating. Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. Look at that thing, dude.
Obama revealed to James Corden he was eager to find out about real close encounters when he became president.
Truth is that when I came into office, I asked, right? I was like, all right, is there the lab somewhere where we're keeping the alien specimens in spaceship? They did a little bit of research, and the answer was no.
But that doesn't mean we're alone in the universe.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are.
And now that UFOs are being taken more seriously, more people are coming forward with their own sightings. Shaquille O'Neal told Jimmy Kimmel he's certain he's seen a UFO.
With all the lights, and it was spinning, and it just...
and took off, and everything happened in less than 5 seconds, and we all looked at each other, was like, and I know that it was a UFO. I don't care what anybody says.
You never told anybody about that?
Nope, you're the first person I told, because I don't want people to think I'm crazy. But
Right.
Here's my thing. I believe that people see things and don't know what they are, 100%.
Oh, I see things all the time and don't know what they are.
Same, yeah.
Here's my thing with the aliens. And somebody that Sam was listening to earlier was saying this too. These aliens, they have all this technology. They're able to travel from whatever galaxy, get all the way here. And then they crash at the last minute. And like they keep crashing.
On Earth, of all places.
All the time.
In a remote location right near a military base.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like if they were advanced, why would they be crashing every time?
Totally.
And dying.
Yeah. I think what people would say is like, oh, the ones that don't crash, we'd never notice. But at the same time, like, would we? They wouldn't have, if they don't want to be discovered, they wouldn't have an immediate, like, self-destruct.
Yeah, they don't have a cleanup crew. They're just like, oh, sorry, with like AAA towing for your shit.
Your
Galaxy AAA. It's gonna take like 4 years. Yeah. So, now it's like, sorry, you moved the crash site, so we can't do it. Yeah. I think that in general, humanity, we're narcissistic. Like,
yeah, we want to believe we're the special planet that they all want to visit, and they're definitely visiting us to like make connections and exchange technology, and definitely not to just like clear us for a space highway like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, they're just like you should probably. I mean, or like they're like it's going to be a resource war, and I was like, baby, we've already taken everything. It's tapped up.
We're doing that amongst ourselves.
It's ghetto over here. What do you think? Do you think that they want to be here? No. Any alien that gets assigned to our planet, it's like being a meter maid. They are not pleased.
It's like when your car dies in the middle of like central Pennsylvania on the way from, no offense to central Pennsylvania, on the way from Philly to Pittsburgh. This has happened to me, and you're just like, oh my god, how do I get out of here? Is there a gas station anywhere near here? I see a bear. Like,
I've been to Pittsburgh once.
Got it.
And driving from the airport through like to the downtown area, I was very surprised. Yeah. Pittsburgh's really, I grew up in Portland part of my life, and to me it felt like a bigger version of that, and I was like, oh, it's actually really pretty.
Oregon?
Yeah. And I noticed that as soon as you're outside of the city, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it might as well be like in the rural, like Indiana, like nothing for like
there's
miles,
nothing.
Like, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? How did y'all build it like this? And there's nothing out here. That's so wild. And I think maybe just even like, because West Coast, even when like places like Portland, Oregon, where it's like, I guess if you drive out of the city, it gets rural, but you still have to like, there's still little plots of people, kind of like off the freeway. But that wasn't the case there. Like as soon as you drove out of town, I was like, this is like terrifying. Like, has anybody ever written a horror movie about that stretch of highway?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it feels like
someone should make it. Yeah. Also, like, speaking of Joe Biden, Delaware surprisingly has a lot of like really like rural farmland areas that I've also gotten stuck in.
Wow. You're from the East Coast originally?
Yeah, I'm from Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been to New Jersey. I had family in Vineland. I've been to Pittsburgh once. I know nothing of the East Coast. It's like a magical like faraway land where I'm like, I don't know. I like people's accents, and like I hear that they're all fast, and everybody doesn't like to take bullshit. And I'm like, ooh. I'm like, ooh, that's sassy. I like that. But I don't really like when somebody's like, oh, I grew up in Spiegelberg, and I'm like, oh yeah.
That's what all the towns are named, or like Bethlehem, Babylon, like.
I'm like, okay,
like
all right,
that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you think of the East Coast, like I think of like where have I not been? Like I don't know, like Spain or something where I'm like, oh yeah, you eat tapas and there's the beautiful architecture and people take siestas. Then you get there and like, oh, this is just a place with like normal shitty people like everywhere else.
Everywhere else has there's no place where I'm like, wow, so different here. Yeah. There's places that I like more than others, but I'm like, yeah. So it's That's why when people like hate LA, I'm just like, well, then go. It's fine. There's plenty of other places. There's shitty people everywhere. And I was like, well, we get it. We get a little. I was born in LA, but not raised here. So I also have like a diehard where I'm like, no, I love this city. I came back here.
I love this city too.
Yeah, like
yeah.
It's got a little bit of everything. And I think that anybody that complains about the fakeness or like the social ladder climbing, I'm just like, well, yeah, that's people that are like coming from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
The
transplants that come here to want to like get successful in entertainment, which is true of like people in New York who do the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's just how
it's the industry. It's not LA.
Yeah, exactly. It's the industry. And I'm just like, I understand though. I think you also get a lot of people that were like big fish in their little pond, you know?
Totally.
They were a 10 there. They come here and they're humbled. And I'm like, I've always been coasting through the mid, sweetheart. So I've actually grown up. This is my glow up now. I'm like,
same. I'm like, people are like, oh, are you okay? Are you rough? I'm like, this is the peak of what it can be. Like,
I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Everybody else is being humbled. So they're like bitter and they're like fighting it. And I'm like, people are like, why did you come back to LA? So what'd you come back to do? And I was like, I literally just came back for the weather. I lived in Portland, Oregon for a long time, and it's rainy.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate it.
Beautiful city, but rainy.
Yeah, it's rainy. It's like if Wes Anderson directed Get Out. It's very cute and quirky and like...
Yeah, like hipster, like, oh, we all make kombucha, but actually beneath the surface, it's like a lot of like gentrification.
Yeah, it's like wildly racist. Everybody's like actively gentrifying like the only black neighborhood and like calling the cops on like the remaining neighbors, you know? Because they're like, they just like feel really uncomfortable with them because like they're like playing really loud music. And I'm like, just go talk to them. It's really easy. Just go knock on their door. Like it's...
Yeah, go like know your neighbor.
Yeah, it's really not like nobody's gonna bite you. It's fine.
Yeah.
They might check your potato salad for raisins, but like, like if that's the worst thing that fucking happens to you, like I think that you can
like calm down. Be worried about like what the police are gonna do to you, not your neighbors. Yeah.
It's a wild place. So I just came back because I love the warmth. I love the ocean. I love the idea of being able to like go to the mountains and then go to the ocean and then say fuck you, I'm gonna go to the desert. And I'm like, and then like I could also like run into like a low level like star, and I'm like, oh, like Emilio Estevez used to like come into my bar all the time when I ran a bar.
Want to hear how dumb I am? For a second, I thought you meant low level star, like a star that's low in the sky. Like, oh my god, that's part of like
that constellation. I mean, I think that's actually kinder than me like talking shit about Emilio Estevez's career, considering the Mighty Ducks was a fantastic franchise.
It's excellent.
He's a fantastic man. He's from a star. He's kind of a nepo baby, because his dad's the Sheen guy.
Oh really?
One of the
I didn't
Sheens.
know that.
Yeah.
When they have different last names. It's
Yeah. No. But so. Wow. But who am I to say who a low level star is? But I'm like,
I feel like sometimes, even though my family's not in the industry, I'm kind of a nepo baby for comedy because my parents are crazy.
I love that. Crazy parents. Yeah. They helped you. They helped form your...
just like, so much material.
I imagine. Ugh, I could only...
That coupled with like living in America in 2023.
Yeah, no, I think that
just too much fucked up material.
There's constantly material. I realize that I'm like, people are like, so why'd you get into comedy? It's like funny. Why'd you get into comedy? And I was like, because I need attention. I need a lot of fucking attention. I have anxious attachment, and I'm drawing from a deep well of sadness, and I'm like, it's like free. It's kind of free therapy a little bit.
Totally. Yeah. It's like talking it out in a way. Like, sometimes it's good to talk to someone who's like objective third party giving you advice. And sometimes it's good to just go up on stage and be like, so listen to all this shit that happened to me. And you have to listen.
You have to listen.
Paid $5 to be at this mic.
You're going to be here and you're going to hear this shit now. Like, I used to think that like dating comedy was like so beat to death, but I'm like, no, I think I'm realizing almost every time I love it. And I'm like,
yeah, totally.
Because everybody's date was different. Everybody feels differently. Everybody dates differently. And I'm like, we all love like a horrible dating story. We all know the feelings of rejection and want.
Totally. And the culture around everything is so fucked up. It's like,
yeah, you can't not run into it. And it's so much better to like joke about it than like live in fear, because I'm like, oh, men are terrifying.
Yep.
I'm like, oh my god, no, it's funny. It's funny. I love it here. Yeah. No, I love it. It's so cool.
That was so scary. This is gonna be such a good bit.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
yeah.
I didn't die. Oh my god, he was really weird though. That was really weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, so far you came to the podcast, the address, and
I did.
You didn't know, and it could have been like a bad internet date.
It could have been, but it's not. No, it's wonderful. There was a cat. There's a cool drum set in the corner.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, we're watching videos about aliens.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
So this next bit about aliens. Have you ever seen the History Channel's Ancient Aliens series?
All I know is the meme that the guy on screen is in.
Yeah, Giorgio, he is a wacky man, and he's very entertaining. And yeah, I figured we'd watch a couple of the clips of the top 3 mysterious ruins, and just get a little vibe for Giorgio. And then I have a question for you afterwards. It's like a kill bang marry scenario.
Got it. Okay, I'll prepare myself.
Yeah, just like know that he has to go in one of these slots for you, but know that it's going to be like stacked. So
okay, I'll contemplate this.
Yeah.
I'm taking this. The weight of this is not lost on me.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, I'm just like think of the positives. He's got a cool necklace, real cool necklace.
Is that a stone of some
Yeah, there's a lot of stones. He's got a crystal.
Statues. And a mysterious man-made island that defies explanation. For more than a decade, Ancient Aliens has traveled the globe to explore some of the most isolated and enigmatic islands in the world. Now, we're going to take a look back at the top mysterious islands we've investigated. Islands that just may hold the proof that Earth has been visited by extraterrestrials.
Love this concept.
Or maybe
the North Atlantic.
Make stuff.
Yeah, maybe like people can do like really cool things.
Islands, including Great Britain and Ireland.
They're like, no, it's impossible.
The British Isles are
They're
home
like
to more than 72 million people. But these islands are also home to some of the most mysterious megaliths on Earth. The stone circles.
The British Isles is the only ancient culture to have built stone circles on a large scale. And it all began
because the British are weird as fuck.
It's like,
years ago off the north coast of Scotland.
It's like a clock, bro. Looks like they made a giant fucking clock.
They made a big clock. Of about another 100 years,
Tuesday, isn't it?
Building tradition spread pretty rapidly
We gotta know when it's
throughout the rest of the British Isles.
Yeah, this is made the giant
England,
clock.
Scotland, Wales, Ireland.
See, Wales made a clock, and then Ireland was like, we gotta make a better clock.
We need a better one.
This
British
is their
Isles.
space race.
It's unique. It's unlike any stone circle anywhere on the planet. It's perfectly circular. It has astronomical alignments.
Yeah, because you limeys do weird shit. You always have.
According to mainstream
That's your vibe, bro.
archaeology,
You do
stone
unnecessary
circles
shit
like
that
Stonehenge were constructed
you use
as
people
elaborate
to do
calendars.
unnecessary shit. That's
But
what you do.
ancient astronaut
Yeah.
theorists believe
Bunch of,
they
like,
serve
peasants
a more
lifted these
profound
stones,
purpose.
Like, at least we'll be remembered
It
for
is
our work.
true that Stonehenge can be used or was used as a calendar. There is no doubt about
No
it.
shit, man.
Yeah.
However,
Giorgio's
in
like,
order to
pump the brakes,
create
all
a
right?
calendar,
We all know that.
there was absolutely zero need to build a megalithic structure as gigantic as Stonehenge.
You don't know what they needed? You don't
Bro,
know their needs?
they didn't have the internet or porn. Do you know how much time?
They had so much time. They're like, we gotta get together and do this is a bonding activity for the community.
Come on, Timothy. You have to come help us pull up the
Yeah.
stones for the calendar.
This is their Coachella. We're all gonna get together in the middle of nowhere.
We're going to bring this stone up here, and then we're going to set it. They're like, I don't think, like, things like this where I'm like, I don't think this proves anything about aliens, man.
No. Just ancient people wanted to make like big things that they thought they'd be remembered for.
Yeah, we've all been trying. We're all just trying to hold on to as long as we can. Like I don't think aliens did this, but I do Giorgio. That crazy Greek man.
I'm glad he's found something that he likes.
Yeah, no, he's And the memes about him are
Because
great.
you
Like
could
he's
have
a
recreated the
memeable
same
character.
thing by essentially placing ordinary.
He's like the Greek version of Guy
in the
Fieri
ground.
in my mind.
And that was not the case. So what was it?
Charismatic.
In 2019, authors Andrew Collins and Graham Phillips set out to investigate some of the most mysterious stone circles
Yeah.
of the British Isles on the Orkney Islands of Scotland. This small
I love it when they
island
do a
chain
little like a
is home
computer
to
graphic.
Skara
I
Brae,
like that.
an ancient
Those
settlement
beeps, those
that
like,
is
oh, I'm
over
like, oh, it's very
5,000
technical.
years
Thank
old.
you. I like that you zoomed in on that for me.
Now known as the Scottish Pompeii, it was discovered in 1850
Hobbit
after
homes.
a storm revealed the ancient ruins.
Just look at this place. I mean, it's just extraordinary.
It looks like a fucking putt-putt golf course.
It does look like a putt-putt golf course.
Really quite
Like I know I'm supposed to be impressed, but I'm just like,
when everybody else
That's
in the
a
country
house.
was living in, well,
That's-
mud huts,
That's a
basically.
studio
I know.
apartment.
And the
Yeah. I'm like, how
incredible
much are
thing
you
about
charging
this
for it?
is the
Yeah.
descendants
I
of
would-
these people end up
Listen,
creating
if that was
all of the
700
stone
a month
circles around Britain.
in Silver Lake,
Oh.
I'll make my own fucking roof.
oh yeah, I don't need a roof. It's actually this new thing that I'm really into. It's called sunning. Yeah. Yeah,
Vitamin
it's
D.
it's really good for your hair and your skin.
I love that.
To just never have a roof over your head. You just like it's an open pit, open floor plan.
Get back to nature.
Yeah, it's
Throw
really
away your
good.
antidepressants and just sun, and then rain when it's raining, and then hail when it's hailing. Embrace nature.
You have to. like that, like Drew Barrymore. Just like sometimes you have to like go out and feel the rain or whatever.
Go dance in the rain.
Go dance in the rain. I love Drew Barrymore,
I
by the
love
way.
her.
I
love her. She should have had a show 10 years ago at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I would have. I mean, I would have watched it. I would have been there. She's had me forever.
Yeah,
I'm
she's always
trying
been in
to
our hearts.
actively channel her hair. I'm like, yeah, okay, 90s. I got little flippy pieces, and I'm like, I've been doing clippies. I'm like, yeah, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
It's what I'm. It's
I get it. I
yeah.
think the Barrymore bangs.
Barrymore bangs.
She should make clip-on Barrymore bangs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's.
That should be
Barrymore
merch
bangs.
for this podcast. Barrymore bangs.
Barrymore bangs.
Barrymore could be Drew, could be another Barrymore.
It could be anybody,
Yeah.
you know, but it's a Barrymore.
But it's a Barrymore.
Could be. That's the slogan. Could be anybody, but you know it's a Barrymore. Okay, next
Experts
one.
believe that the descent.
Okay, sorry. I need
All kinds of
I need whatever
technology is
science
based
is
on
happening here.
quartz
Though.
crystal.
That's
sorry.
It's been documented
Very
in the
important.
UK that a lot of these stone circles are associated with strange lights and UFO activities. And we have to
UFOs.
wonder
there we go.
about the
I knew it was.
energy
We have to bring it back to the
So
UFOs.
it may well be that in some cases there's some kind of electronic magnetic signature that they put out that are beacons for UFOs.
In the center of the Mediterranean Sea, between Italy and Africa, lies a three-island archipelago that makes up the Republic of Malta.
Malta is this really small island nation just south of Sicily, and it's so small it's only 122 square miles in its entirety. But because it's a dead center of the Mediterranean Sea, Malta really packs a punch historically.
What
Let's
Malta
show me this
is most
shit.
well known for historically is the incredible series of megalithic complexes there, created around 3,000 to 4,000 BC.
That also looks like an apartment
They involve
complex.
Yeah.
places like Tarxian, Hagar Quinn.
I mean, those sound very cool and
quite
spacey.
Fantastic
It feels very Star Trek.
megalithic structure known as Gigantica. Now this essentially means
Gigantica.
the place of the giantess.
That looks like a front of like a casual dining
And
restaurant.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
fascinating thing is beliefs
Yeah,
on
they're
Malta.
just open air restaurants.
They're 100%. This was the Grove.
Yeah.
You see that these little circles? That was the Cheesecake Factory. That was the Barnes and Noble.
That's what's happening. This place on the end over here has really great heirloom carrots.
Totally. That's where the heirloom car. And then there's the parking lot where you have to pay eight ancient dollars.
8 ancient dollars.
For 30 minutes.
Yeah. I just it's not none of it's screaming there. Once again, I think that we don't understand things that we see.
Totally. Yeah.
If there, okay, and even if there is, like, I don't think they.
I don't think if there are aliens, I don't think they were responsible for this. I think this was like, we don't have like cranes and electricity yet, so we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna lift this giant rock together.
Yeah, I think it's really like, people are like, how did they do it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they had time, baby.
They had time.
They had time.
They had time. There was no HR. They could make people like work as long as they want, lift whatever.
Yeah, and then when they died, they're just like, all right, we'll get a new person or whatever.
Bury them inside the thing.
Yeah, who cares? That happens all the time, right? The Great Wall of China, they're just like, yeah, there's some dead people here. We. Oh,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I mean, any great building project, I think, in history, there's always like a lot of deaths, and people are just like, that's what happens with peasants, man. That's the thing with peasants, is that they're expendable and they're peasants.
Forget ancient peasants. You know, like East Coast, there's a lot of East Coast sports stadiums.
Yeah.
There's conspiracies that the mob buried people inside the buildings to like get rid of the bodies. I think Jimmy Hoffa is supposedly buried inside of like a stadium.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah. More East Coast lore for you.
Love mob history.
Yeah, it's like a mob Disneyland.
Wow. Man. So I've never been to the East Coast, and so maybe that's why I like fetishize it a little bit, but I swear, like, if you talk like a human cigarette and he's like, and you looks at me and you says, hey, Toots, I'd like to take you out dancing sometime. 10 out of 10, I will S your D.
We cannot take you to Philadelphia.
Oh my.
We can't take
I'll
you.
fucking die.
You'll like find so many boyfriends. You'll develop so many like interests in comics, baseball. You'll get so many new interests. and more things.
Yeah. Oh my God. I couldn't. There was a gentleman that's from the East Coast that lived over here. Sound like a human cigarette. He did a little ticky talk thing, and I instantly was like, oh my God. And then I saw like how women were like on the internet throwing their panties at him, but through the internet, through comments, and I was like, wow. I really love that. Women can be thirsty on the internet these days. Like, I didn't realize that there was like, TikTok's the first place I've seen it, where there's like these like dude accounts, and there's just girls being like, oh my God, I love you. You could punch me in the throat. And I'm like, girl, do not tell him that. Yeah, they're already mad.
Like, okay, let me find your address. Be like, she told me I could do it.
She said I could punch her in the throat. And I'm like, no, bitch, we're trying to unionize over here for better fucking working conditions over here. A date, not a coffee date. I don't want to go to coffee.
Yeah. I get it, like, especially because you, like, can't do that in real life. It's, like, through a screen. But then I feel weird sometimes because some of the guys that make those are, like, 20. And I'm like, you're a child, too.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you okay?
It's...
Like, express yourself on the internet, but, like, yeah. I'm like, as a almost 30-year-old woman, I shouldn't be seeing this video.
No, it's really uncomfortable. I also feel like I'm at this weird age where I'm getting everybody. I'm getting everybody age-wise. Like, I have a date with a 72-year-old man. And then, like, I'll also have the 19-year-old be like, age ain't nothing but a number, baby. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm, like, almost twice your age. And they're like, yeah, but I could go twice as long as some guy your age. And I'm like, whoa, oh, my God. I'm like, you are thirsty. It is so awkward. Yeah. And the 26 to 29 is actually, like, my most popular.
Cool.
And
that's a sweet spot. That's a sweet spot.
I don't know if it's a sweet spot. It's a sweet spot for me, like, ego wise, because I'm like, oh my God, he's like young and hot still. He likes me. He
but
likes
he's like
me.
An adult.
Yeah, but I'm just like, oh, I think this means you're underdeveloped a little bit. Like, you're like a little bit underbaked. So the people your age are like, sweetie, what are you doing with your life? And I'm like, I'm living it.
You're living it. No, I think, you know, late 20s, I feel like, you know, it might be men like open to like possibilities, whereas like 35 might be like, oh, well, she's just on my level, so I can do.
Yeah, I think when I date men my own age, they're like, I don't want to get married. And I'm like, all right, Peter Pan. I'm trying to figure out my dating goals. Whereas like 28-year-old men are like, yeah, I'll wife you. I'll put a fucking baby in you. And I'm like,
interesting.
And I'm like, oh my God, don't do that. I don't want to be stuck with you forever. Like, if we did that, we'd like stuck together for like ever.
They're like, I want to like be stuck together and move to a waterfront house in Laguna.
And I'm like, and then I'm also just like, you don't want that. And I was like, that's right. I also don't want that. But once again, if somebody says it to, I'm so gullible. I'm like,
got it.
I don't know. Maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. I mean, that's bad. That's the worst idea that anybody's ever had. But if you really want to, but men my age are like, they're like terrified. They like before you've even gone on the date, they're like, I just want to let you know I'm not looking for anything serious. And I was like, bro, you're a DJ.
I'm aware. Like
I didn't. You also haven't. It's very presumptuous when you haven't met somebody to say that, right? Like, why would you shoot yourself if you've never gone on the date with somebody? What if you go on a date with them and you're like, this
is my soulmate.
This is the one. You've already shot yourself in the foot by saying, I don't want anything serious. I would never, because I'm delusional. I'm like, I would never say that because everybody can be the one for me.
Everybody could be the one. Exactly. I feel like that's something when you're like, oh yeah, I'm not sure about this person. I'm not sure about this DJ.
Yeah. I'm like, it doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere serious. I think that it's very funny, like, because like you thought you were like husband material. Like when men think that, I'm just like, you thought, like, it's like men are like very much so, they're the prize. They're like, yeah, every girl wants to tie me down. Every girl's a gold digger. And I was like, you're a security guard and you're like, no, you're not even my type.
What gold are they digging?
They don't have any gold to dig. And I'm like, trust me, I am a gold digger. And I'm like, and I'm not trying to date you. Go away. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Get out of my DMs. You're taking up space.
Yeah. It's like, could you get like your car out from my like garage right now?
Yeah,
like,
you're not.
Someone else, my roommate needs that spot. Oh my gosh, she's so clingy. She wants to wife me.
So I'm just like,
husband me.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's very awkward. And I'm like, it's funny though, because I say that, but then like 3 dates in, I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm just wanted to know what we were doing here. I don't say it out. I've gotten really good at not saying it out loud. I just internalize it. And if somebody doesn't love bomb me, I'm just like, it's not worth my time.
Do you like plan out a future in your head? Are you thinking? Like,
I'm a big future faker. I'm like,
got it.
I'm like filling in. I'm really good at filling in the gaps of like things that don't really like exist. I'm like, I'm making up storylines, and I'm like, you don't know that. That's what you think is happening. You think that he's like kicking his little heels up, like thinking about you, texting you. He's out with his friends. He's not. It's not what's happening. But in my mind, I've there's a whole other storyline happening for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, will he say like one thing and then like he'll be like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to go to where's a place people can go. I always wanted to go see like Monterey sometime.
Yeah.
You're just visualizing like a Big Little Lies style house in Monterey.
Yeah, the trip we're going there, where those kids are gonna go to school, or just it doesn't like I could I just go there. I love that. I have that really deep imagination, but it's dangerous.
It's good to be imaginative, but just remember, people can just have lip service. People can say whatever they want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been learning that. I have better boundaries. Like I don't verbalize those things, and then I'll be like, oh, you're delusional. But like I like take that delusion, and I'm like, okay, well, on to the next then.
Yeah.
I'm like, who? What? I don't know who that person is. We've never dated. I don't know who that. I never met you in my whole life.
Yeah, I think that was a movie I watched actually.
Yeah.
I don't think that happened.
I'm like, what? I'm sorry, I don't have any change. I can't help you. Who?
Yeah, no, I just came up with that for the bit. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, oh, that bit, you need to go to therapy about that. No, it's just a goofy little joke.
It's a bit. Have you ever dated anybody and then been like, please do not use me in a bit?
No, I haven't. I've never dated like another comedian before.
Good.
But yeah. And then like I've always been told like, hey, you can use me in a bit, just don't say my name. But I don't know. I don't think that applies to everything. Some of the bits I tell are like people I don't speak to. It's so funny because in so many other aspects, I feel like I'm really like conscious of this, but I didn't think about the consent aspect of like telling jokes about people,
Because I'm just like, well, it's my life and my story, baby.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not saying like, oh, and his name is this and lives at this address.
Yeah, I definitely have said people's names, and then like I thought about it, and I was like, those people they didn't say that you could do that, and in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe they should have done better, and I'm like, okay, well, that's really like you have to watch that, you have to check that.
Depends on the situation though. If somebody is like fucked up, it's like, I wish all I had to deal with was a joke about me.
Yeah, right. I'm like. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just catty, and I'm just like, just because you didn't like them and they weren't a good fit for you, you don't need to be like, you don't need to be shitty. I do like to throw a little bit of shade though, but it's also because I'm like, well, it's a taste thing, baby. You went for them. Yeah. You're a little bit culpable. Because I tend to I'll date people that I know aren't my normal type.
Got it.
Because I'm just like, I don't know, like let me try this out. Yeah. And then I get there and I'm like, yep, you guys have nothing in common and this is really awkward. I'm like, I tried to recently date this very like squeaky clean, just a sweet Jewish boy, but like had zero trauma in his life, had a really good family and like upbringing, and just really liked playing pickleball on the weekends with his friends. He's got a good job.
So that's who plays pickleball. I was wondering who plays pickleball. Who's not paid to pretend to like pickleball, like
loves pickleball.
Yeah.
About it. I loved it that I was like, that's so sweet, so wholesome. Like there's just like, and I was like, you've never tried crack cocaine? And I get it that a lot of people haven't tried crack cocaine. Yeah. And I'm not saying anybody should try crack cocaine for character development. Yeah. I'm not. But I'm like, oh, I've had a very different life. It's a little bit gritty. Yeah.
You got, and I'm like, someone who speaks the same language.
It's just a little bit too awkward.
Yeah. Someone who's like, oh, I learned about everything you've been through like PSAs in high school.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, wow, oh my goodness.
Well, I have a glass of Chardonnay.
We're just going to run into problems like later on down the line where they're like, oh my God, my coworker showed me a video of your butthole. And I'd be like, well, baby, we had to pay the bills, okay?
Everybody has a video of their butthole.
Everybody has a video of their butthole on the internet.
Whether we wanted it to be there or not.
Are we all not cam girls in the mass surveillance state?
Yeah. Oh, I like briefly worked at a restaurant where there was a toilet camera. I'm like,
oh my God, that's
shoot me the footage. Let me put it somewhere.
That's one of my biggest fears.
There's toilet cams everywhere. That's one thing I learned is like there are so many places.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. You know what's terrifying about it for me?
Yeah.
Is that aside from doing outward sex work like cam work, when I'm not on camera, I am a gross goblin, and when I don't think that eyeballs are on me, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's probably healthy. Like you do that when you're performing, it's different. Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm performing, I'm very aware, but I feel like if you caught me in a toilet cam,
it's not. Yeah,
it's
like,
not going. Like,
tell me if I'm gonna.
You think it's gonna be hot, but I'm really just like, oh God, oh, where is there wipes in here? I'm trying to wipe myself down with like toilet paper seat covers.
It's like, what's the appeal? I've seen myself in like a mirror in a toilet, and I've been like, this is awful.
I'm like, this is not. You think this is gonna be hot, but it's like, it's not. You're gonna actually be like, wow, I don't ever want to have sex with that person now. Yeah. They were like, why were toilet seat covers? Why? And I'm like, there's nothing in here. And I'm just profusely sweating all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, hot girl summer is more. I'm way more into like the hot rat summer.
Hot rat summer, hot. I'm hot possum summer. You can be hot rat summer.
Yeah.
You can be hot rodent marsupial summer.
Yeah. No, I just want to like.
Yeah.
I just want to with my friends, you know.
Yeah. Just want to go in my little hidey hole, eat some Carl's Jr., which the only reason I get Carl's Jr. is it's walking distance from my house, and I've gotten a lot of Carl's Jr.
You know, I used to work at a bar that was right across the street from Carl's Jr., and that was the only time I got Carl's Jr. because I would be like,
it's because it's there. That's why anybody gets Carl's Jr.
I don't think. Damn.
Sorry to Carl if Carl's Jr. was going to sponsor the
podcast. Yeah, Carl's Jr. is like, damn, that was really harsh, and I was like, it's true. You're the side bitch.
Yeah.
Carl's Jr. is the drunk barfly. I'm sorry. Like,
we really wanted In-N-Out, but he left us for Tender Greens.
Yeah, and it's like it's late at night, and we want something hot and salty inside of us.
It's the last minute booty call of fast food.
What is your cutoff time for a booty call? Are you a booty call person?
I'm not really a booty call person. So
Good for you.
I mean, it's not because I respect myself or anything. It's because like I'm scared and I have no respect for myself. You need to know. I'm just
You're like, it's not.
I know I would have something like I wouldn't be able to manage a booty call properly. I'm a loser.
I have a cutoff time, so because I know that after a certain point, there's no good, nothing good comes like after a certain time. Like if you hit me up 11 to 1.
Got it.
We go past once the bar is closed.
The bar is closed.
Then
it's like
then you're
only
Carl's
Taco Bell's
Jr.
Open hours.
You become Carl's Jr. You're Carl's Jr. at that point.
You become Carl's Jr.
Yeah. It's not a good place to be in.
Yeah. It's like if you hit Jesse up at 2:30 a.m., just know.
Yeah. I also
There
just have
was the
weird.
In-N-Out guy
I have
offered earlier
yeah,
in the
like
night.
I have like weird rules. Like we're all because I'll like go through stages of being very confident, and then being like, oh my god, I'm so lonely. Who cares? Come over. And so like it is so like erratic where I'm just like, you didn't respond to my text. I waited 48 hours. You're dead to me. Gone on everything. And then other times it's like, oh, that guy came back 7 months later, and I was like, well, we should give him another chance. He wrote a really good poem that one time. And I'm like, God.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse is just in your head, like, being like, come on. Get like in the Christmas Carol, get the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah,
Get the spirit
yeah.
of booty call into you. And
I just want to. I'm just like, maybe you should give it. You never know. Maybe this is part of the love story. I'm like, I don't think this is part of the love story for you. But I'm a diehard romantic.
It's hard to be a romantic. Yeah.
It's hard.
It's rough. Rough to be a romantic.
Speaking of romance.
Speaking of romance. Oh, are we doing alien romance?
Alien romance. So we have George. His last name is Greek, and I forget how to pronounce it. Giorgio, though. Giorgio. Wow. I also can't spell.
Giorgio.
Wow. Okay.
His hairstylist is fantastic.
Yeah,
as
like
well.
look. I just wanted to get another little.
You recognize
flavor.
the man, even if you don't recognize the name.
Do. We all know him.
Let's refresh your memory. Aliens. Yep, that's Giorgio Tsoukalos. Ever since he appeared on Ancient Aliens, the show that presupposes that almost all our ancient tech was created outside our atmosphere, Tsoukalos has become an inescapable internet meme. But how much do you actually know about the man behind the meme?
I love
the fact
God bless
he
people that
kinda
make
looks
videos like
ridiculous.
this.
Here's the untold truth of aliens. Actual alien encounter. You ready to get your socks blown off? Well, get this. The man who goes on TV to rant about how ancient aliens built everything from the pyramids to our DNA, he actually had an alien encounter.
Yeah.
Maybe. Here's what he says happened. In the desert near
That's my
Joshua
type of
Tree,
alien
he
for
and
sure.
26
Hot.
other people saw stars moving in odd ways. Shortly thereafter, the group concluded that the two stars were actually UFOs, and totally not an effect of staring into the darkness in the hopes of seeing a UFO. Of course, not seeing a UFO doesn't mean...
Outfit. Giorgio's got the fits.
Oh my god, the salmon, the shirt undone.
There's like, this is a vest right here. Like, is that like, do we have a leather, like a camel leather vest here?
Yeah. Oh, is it a vest or is it suspenders?
Ooh.
I thought it was suspenders.
You know
Oh
what?
my. He's a dandy.
Either one is spicy and hot. Giorgio. So here's your kill bang Mary. Giorgio. Jonathan Frakes from Believe It or Not, which is if you're a Star Trek person, is Riker.
That's Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah.
Soon. Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
Do you love to go a-wandering beneath a clear blue sky?
Have you noticed what big stars real estate agents have become?
Are you careful with your personal records? Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own? Have you ever visited a Chinatown section in a major city?
Have you ever visited a flea market? Have you ever visited a truck stop? Did you ever have a job as a waiter?
Have you noticed how many successful restaurants are theme-based these days?
Have you ever had the desire to write your initials in wet cement?
Me trying to start a conversation on a date.
I absolutely love that. So he's also, this is late 90s, early 2000s UFO mystery man, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So he hosted that show. And then last but not least,
He has like social studies teacher energy. He has,
oh my God,
cool
yeah.
social studies teacher energy.
And then we have Robert Stacks, the salt and pepper gentleman from Unsolved Mysteries, and him talking about UFOs.
Is he still alive?
I believe the people who've seen these things. I know a man in the CIA saw some very strange things. And
I don't know if he's around still.
He's a CEO of a very large corporation. He was executive officer of a nuclear submarine.
Love that voice.
Now, I believe him. He told me a story about being on a sub. He had the sonar out, the swooshing noise, these two objects came screaming by it, faster than a torpedo, around the submarine, around the bow, came together as a unit, and flew off. Now, this is so weird. He said, you know what happened? We went back to Norfolk. I called Norfolk. I arrived. 2 men from the Pentagon were there, came aboard, checked with everybody, took the log books. As they left, they said, don't talk about this. No one's going to believe you anyway. Now, this is from a guy who was a CIA, on a nuclear sub. And he tells it like he's saying, yeah, I had a couple of cups of coffee. So I allow the other people to make up their minds. I don't know. I believe him. Whatever happened, he saw.
Yeah, I'm
and
like...
the members of the crew saw. Or they had been somehow mesmerized by it.
It's a different time.
Giant.
It's a different time. Like, you ever try to watch like an older movie, and people are like, "Oh my God, it's a film. It's a fantastic film." And then you watch it, and you're like, "This is a lot of like character development and like the story." And I'm just like, "Get to the point, man. Just say what you need to say."
This didn't have to compete with phones.
It didn't have to, because I pulled this clip up. It is 1 minute and 16 seconds, and I'm like, bro, what?
How am I already zoning out?
Yeah, I'm already like checked out.
He's like a detail king.
I think they're the pinnacle of 90s unsolved mystery UFO conspiracy theory. They're the conspiracy theory daddies.
Yeah.
Of the 90s.
You know, he gets you in with the detail. I was like, he's reading all the stage directions in this story.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
But because of that, you're like, oh, it's grounded in reality. They're getting coffee. It was a CEO of a major corporation. Like, it makes you think, oh, this is a real story.
It's so real. How could it not be real? Because there's too many fucking details. I'm already like, you know what? That man, for me, my kill bang marry, I have to marry Robert Stack, because if he is cheating on me, if he spins a yarn like that, I'm like, yeah, but of course that makes sense that you had to go back and get the milk because you forgot the milk because you were with the CEO of the company, and then there was a UFO, and he just has so many details. But by the time we get to the end, I'm like, I don't care.
You will have forgot. You'll already be like mellowed.
Yeah, I'm not mad anymore.
You'll just be grateful the story's over.
And then I think if I have to have sex with somebody here, it's going to be Jonathan Frakes, because I really enjoyed Riker's character. Grew up watching a lot of Star Trek with my family. I'm like a second generation Trekkie. My mom used to take me to like conventions, and I'd wear like the little forehead. We were Klingons.
Nice.
So I would have to bang Jonathan Frakes, even though I know that there's a wild age discrepancy there.
Well, one of these guys is dead. So
and unfortunately, Giorgio's the one I gotta like.
Oh.
I love his style, but because I love it so much, I'm taking it. I'm killing him, and I'm taking all of his jewelry and finery to wear, because honestly, I think I could rock that necklace, the salmon. It'll look good.
You have to defeat him so that you can rise as the new.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Wouldn't that be great if I killed him and then like I just had like a energetic soul transmission where I just like, it's like That's So Raven where she has like a premonition, but it's Giorgio Tsoukalos coming into my fucking brain, and then I'm like, I know they're real then.
You put on his hair like a crown, like I am the new monarch.
He's got like Super Saiyan hair. Like I love.
It is Super Saiyan.
It's like he just like stuck his finger in the light socket and just like shocked it out. It's very punk rock.
Very punk rock.
I think if he was, like I don't want to be mean, but I would, if it was stacked differently, maybe he could have been, I have weird fetishes in that like I said, he's kind of like the Greek like Guy Fieri, so he could probably get it.
Yeah, that's
probably
like
get
almost
it.
adjacent to like East Coast, like talking with cigarettes, like
Yeah.
look at these giant stones.
Yeah, no, it's very funny because like people are like, "What? That's what you go for?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you never know. Yeah, all sorts and shapes over here, baby." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll adopt them all." I like that.
Nice. All right, who do I bang, marry, kill?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm killing Stack. Mine's different than yours. I'm killing Stack because I feel like, yeah, he'd be able to like spin anything, which would be convenient, but like also I feel like he could talk me into the dumbest shit. Like he could talk me into whatever, just because I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, fine, we'll do whatever you want. Just shut the fuck up. Shut up. But I don't know. And then the middle guy with the like beard is Fakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I might marry him, you know. He seems like a guy, not a ton of agendas, just wants to talk about his history's mysteries, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a simple man, like, yeah. And then bang the Giorgio.
He's got good vibes.
Yeah.
He's got good vibes.
Yeah. I feel like it could be like funny, not too serious. Like,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kill bang marry screams daddy issues. It's like, you want to marry Robert Stacks? That's your grandfather. And I'm like, I just screams stability to me.
Yeah, look, that house in the background, I don't know if that's his house or a set, but that lamp, that's a lamp where you're like, I've had this lamp for 40 years.
Yeah.
I repair it by hand.
Exactly. If something goes wrong, that man knows how to fix it.
100%.
I'm like, yeah, they don't make them like they used to.
Yeah. That's a man who's like, I only booty call before 8:30 p.m.
He's already made a dinner reservation next Tuesday at 7 p.m. and he already let me know. And he knows I'm going to be a little bit late.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Early bird. Yeah.
But he does want to get out of there early so we can beat traffic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always drive those type, even though that's what I like crave, I'm like too whimsical. So I'm always like 15 minutes late.
Oh, I saw a bird on the way.
Yeah, I'm just vibing, and they're just like, and I just know, I'm just like, I don't know if people enjoy that kind of like the mild drama.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the deal here? What's the,
yeah.
Or if it's like, it's just a bad matching. I can never really tell, but I can't be with somebody that's equally, like, I tried to, like, date a Pisces man. I don't know if you're, like, an astrology person at all.
I know a bit about it. I was raised by I'm an Aquarius raised by two Pisces, and I kind of got into some of it because people were like, that's bananas.
Oh, my God. That's where you get all your comedy from. That's where all the bits come from. That makes so much sense. Pisces are so intense.
They're very intense.
But they're, like, whimsical, and they're, like, not based in any reality. They're emotional. They're like, I had a dream about you last night, and in that dream, you pissed me the fuck off. So today, I'm mad at you. And I'm like, you can't be mad at me for dream. You can't hold me responsible for dream me.
Yeah.
It's not fair. But I don't know.
Dream me. It's like that. Yeah, that's see what I'm doing in reality. You know, see that I showed up 15 minutes late to this Chili's to go on a date with you, Robert Stack.
You know that I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. What matters is we're here in this moment now, enjoying these boneless wings together.
That's all you can ask for.
7:30 p.m. at night.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Cancer, so I'm like,
that's like emotional, right?
Very. Everybody's like, you're a crybaby, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm also like, I think that we get like nurturing and we get crybaby a lot, but nobody ever talks about how we're like wildly emotionally manipulative, like openly. Oh, we were evil.
Oh, are you manipulating me right now?
Not really, not actively, but I probably am passively.
Beautiful.
Yeah. When I start with a love bombing.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little like backhanded little like jab. Then you're like, I know what you're doing right now.
Got it.
You're trying to get in my head, and I'm like, no. What do you mean? Just want you to think about me later. But yeah, no. I think that nobody ever talks about how openly manipulative we are, because we like to be. I've recently, like, people that I date, I try to ask them, like, I know it's corny, but it's like, what's your love language? Like, how do you want to be loved? Because some of us are like tropical plants that need lots of water, and some of us are succulents. And if you give the same treatment, one will thrive and one will drown and die. Yeah. And I tend to equate love with water, right? So I'm just like, let me overwater. I'm like, I'm like, what do you need? Do you need this? Do you need that? Can I give you this? Would you? And people are like, oh my God, that's too many options. You're actually smothering me, and it feels like you're my mother. And I'm like, and you don't like that? Do you not have a good relationship with your mother? Do you not love your mother? And they're like, well, no, I love my mother. I just don't want to fuck my mother. So, and I'm like,
oh, so a woman's unattractive if she is kind to you.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
things
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
All cis hetero men have a Madonna whore complex.
100%. Yeah.
Even the good ones, I'm like,
yeah.
Sure. It's still internalized. It just people just want to. Some people love it though. Some people want that combo. They're like, be my mommy and give me coochie, and I'm like, and when I find those types, oh my God, it's terrible. It's toxic.
In all things, all the time.
Because I'm like, I'll do it all.
Yeah.
But then I also demand everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll give you 100%, but I want 120 from you. And people are like, that's a lot. And I'm like, but I'm giving you everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Return it. You turn it. Oh, you want this to be all in? It better be all in. It's not like I'm in the deep end and you're just hovering on the diving board. We're both going in.
We don't get to pick and choose.
Yeah. It's also like sometimes they're like, oh, like, woman I sleep with also has emotions. I have to deal with.
They're like, that's
sexy time and emotions. What?
That's so weird. I have definitely, I've talked about this concept of like men, jerking off with women's bodies. You're not actually fucking the person. You're just like,
100%.
You're like putting whatever fantasy you have on.
Yeah.
And because there's so many men that date women, marry women that they don't like.
No.
They like actively,
friends.
like they don't actively like that human, but they're like, yeah, I like having sex with her, or like I like the status that she brings me, or like, or the financial stuff that she brings in, or the fact that she's like like I can control her, but like not the actual person, and that is so terrifying to me.
It's really scary.
I'm like,
of course they're telling her, oh, you're the best girl in the world. Like they'll never admit, oh, I just like you do the like mom stuff for me, and you fuck me, and blah blah blah. Yeah.
I think being in sex work, I think. It, in a way, it has worked me a little bit because I see men at their worst, right? I see men, and it's like, oh, people are like, not my, like, you would never catch me. Even when I am in a relationship, even though I can be a bit of a pick-me and I love to be delusional and fall into a relationship, you would never catch me, like, publicly being like, this is my man. My man's so good to me. My best friend of 8 years, and I love the life we've built together, because I guarantee you every man that has a post with a woman like that, she's like 6 months pregnant, there's a baby on the way, and he's like out fucking somebody else, like actively. It's always some shit like that, like, and I don't want to like scare people into like not being vulnerable or having relationships, but I'm just, it wouldn't be.
You see a side of reality that people who aren't in that industry don't see.
Yeah, I'm just like, it could not be me. There's so many dudes that like jerk off next to their girlfriend, and they're like, that's part of their kink, and you're like,
what the fuck? Oh, and she doesn't know.
She doesn't know. And I'm like, well, this is really fucking weird. And I'm never going to be the type to like come to a woman like as a woman, because I'm like, I'm not really a woman. I'm like a hybrid. The aliens that they talk about, I'm like, it's me, baby.
Yeah,
okay.
It's actually just Jess.
I'm waiting for my parents to come and get me. My real parents.
Nice.
But I'm like, I don't know. What am I going to say? When I'm going to come to you and be like, hey, I know you had a kid with this loser. But he tried to jerk off on me the other night, so I just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah.
That's too much.
That
it's
wasn't
also
Excel on the screen. That was actually a naked girl.
Yeah, like
that
he was paying like
while you were in the room.
It was really like, I don't, especially if somebody's pregnant, like that's it's formative time.
They're like really like sacrificing their health and safety and body to help bring your child, and like
no sanctity. No sanctity.
No seeing the other person as like a full human being. That's back to like everything. Like when I said like, oh, they don't want girls like to fuck them and to like do things for them. It's like, it's not about like that. It's about not seeing you as a whole person. Yeah. Yeah,
you're a birth vessel at that time, exactly. And then after you're the birth vessel, like then maybe you could go back to the other one. But it's like, it's such a trip, and I'm like, you know, I'm just trying to like take on that like Cher vibes where she's like, men, I love men. They're like dessert, you know, like you can have them, like they're fun, but like you can't center them. And I'm like, okay, more Cher, less Amy Winehouse. More Cher, less Amy Winehouse. R.I.P.
Yeah.
I love Amy Winehouse. I love Billie Holiday. Those are my like 2 favorite singers. And I was like, oh, I think the reason why you like them is because they have toxic relationships with love, and you can hear it in their music. You could hear their heartbreak. And I'm like, baby, why is that? That's what you identify with. And I'm like, I know, I like sad bitch shit. I'm like, that makes sense to me. And I'm like, yeah, that's not healthy though. That's not good. More dessert, less.
More dessert, more like, oh, this is a nice treat, but it doesn't have to be like. And also, it's like you have to eat like dinner. You have to do this, but like dessert, oh, you can have it if you want. But if you don't want, there's nothing wrong if you don't want it now. It's just when it's there when you actually
are
into it.
Yeah, it's a treat.
Yeah.
You can have a little bit of, you know, self-sabotage as a treat every once in a while.
Self-sabotage as a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be, I'm always saying, I'm healing, I'm not healed. I'm healing.
We're just in the process. We're all in the process.
It's a work in progress, and I'm like, I'm not going to figure it out today or tomorrow, but I'm just going to like try to be as best as I can be to myself now.
I think the fact that we both answered this Bang, Marry, Kill so quickly shows that we're both still in the healing process.
Yeah, we knew immediately. We
were like, what?
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah. I knew exactly where to plug those in.
Yeah.
I was like.
I also knew instantly.
Yeah, I was like, I know. I'm like, we were like taking our time, and I'm like, it's for the viewers. Yeah. We instantly, done. It's been fantastic having you on.
You too. Oh, the time flew.
UFOs, magical
man.
whimsy, relationships. Do you have anything, any gigs coming up, any events, anything that we should be on the lookout for? You want to plug your new book or the new boyfriend?
Plug the new boyfriend. You just like show like a couple pictures. Like,
these are the potential matches.
You're just showing your Hinge match.
Dating is like the Bachelorette for me. I'm like, let's see who makes it to the next round and gets the roast.
Yeah, you just get all the dates. Like we're all gonna meet at like a nice restaurant, like the Yard in Burbank, and just like hand each a roast.
I would love that.
They're like, why am I here?
Like, I would love that.
How do you know her? Oh my god. But yeah. So I'm bad at self-promotion. I just distracted from my own plug.
No, it's good.
But no, you can follow me on Instagram at PossumGirl_IG, on TikTok at PossumGirl, that's POSSUM girl, or just search Elyza Halpern, that's ELYZAHALPERN, on all platforms. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Threads. And if you run comedy shows, book me on your comedy shows. I can send a tape.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Oh, I have one last question before you go.
Cool.
PossumGirl, where does it come from?
So that comes from my first story on TikTok that went viral, was about how I kept a possum in my parents' basement when I was 7 years old. I kept it there for like weeks and like nursed it back to health, and then it turned out it had like baby possums in his pouch, and I thought it was like giving birth, but apparently actually the baby possums were just crawling out of the pouch, and then I like thought I killed the possum, but probably didn't.
Wow.
But yeah. But it's funny.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
You nursed the possums.
I thought I was nursing it. I probably was just like its landlord in the basement for a couple of years. Probably afraid of me, like, let me not piss off this weird human girl.
They're like, I don't know, we can't get evicted. I just had a bunch of babies.
Yeah.
my possum baby daddy has not been coming around with food like he used to.
Yeah, not fishing through enough Taco Bell trash cans. I don't know why I keep plugging Taco Bell. Probably because we smoked weed.
Yeah. Possums get such a hard rep. They're really cute though.
They're very cute, and they don't carry rabies because their body temperature is too low, I think. Maybe.
Wow.
I heard they don't carry. Don't go touching possums, but I heard from random people on the internet that they don't carry rabies.
I grew up out in the country, and I knew people that ate possum.
Oh.
I've never ate possum myself. I ate bear, which is wild.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I hear bear sausage is really good.
Bear is really weird. I didn't like it.
Oh, is it gamey?
It's very gamey. Yeah. I'm very sensitive to anything. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm a foodie, but I at the heart of me I have like a chicky nuggy palate, you know. So I'm just like, oh no, too gamey. If the animal smells like how it tastes in any sort, I'm like, oh, we can't do that. I can't do goat.
Oh, I also think goat tastes way too gamey.
It's grassy, it's oaty. They look a little bit demonic. They can look cute, but I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie The Witch?
Yeah.
That'll get rid of the goat. That'll
every time
get rid of the goats are cute narrative.
Yeah,
for the rest
exactly.
Of your life. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that movie. I've watched it too many times. Every time.
It's so good.
It's so good. I'm like, wouldst thou like to live deliciously? Yeah. I'm like, ooh, it's like, it's camp, it's scary, it's it's overtly religious and frightening. And I'm just
goes
like,
places you wouldn't expect it to. It's almost like a horror comedy in some ways.
It really is.
I thought all the goat stuff, spoiler alert, the Satan goat stuff was hilarious.
It was the best part. I was like, I'm supposed to take this seriously.
I was dying laughing. I was like, this is my favorite horror movie. This is my favorite horror
I'm just like, really? I'm like, I know it's camp. The little kids are hilarious.
So funny. Anya Taylor-Joy, one of her first breakout roles, really good and plays it dead seriously, which makes the serious scenes amazing and the funny scenes even funnier. That she's like serious actress through the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's definitely in my top 10 for sure.
It's pretty great, yeah.
But yeah, goats.
Oh. Have you had gator meat ever?
No, I've never had gator meat either.
It tastes. It kind of tastes like chewy fish.
Chewy fish.
Like
yeah. See, everybody's always. It tastes like chicken. Everything can't taste like chicken.
Everything can't taste like chicken. They say I don't think tofu chicken tastes like chicken. It's good. It tastes like good tofu. Doesn't taste like chicken.
No, it tastes different. Everything's got a different vibe. I'm just. We don't need to. I don't need to. I'm just like, let it be what it is, baby.
Yeah, let it be.
It doesn't have to
Whisper
be.
words of wisdom. Let it tofu.
Let it.
Yeah, you should have a show where it's like hot ones, but it's like the chicky nugget show where you sample different kinds of chicky nuggets.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great concept.
You should just like a chicken nugget connoisseur.
I love that. Yes. So easy too. Nobody's really there's no real level of challenge. Just like try this other nugget, and then they're like
build it up like it's hot. So it's like watch
out, and then they're like
let us know if you need anything, and they're like. This is just like kid cuisine, like dino shit.
Yeah, this is like it tastes like kind of like the other nugget, I guess. And I'm like,
no, but you don't have a developed palate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't taste the different nuances between chicky nuggies, like.
Yeah. I taste the difference in chicky nuggies.
I think you can.
We should go on a chicky nugget tour.
I would love to do that.
We should.
Yeah, that'd be a great great episode, a segment.
Be a field episode.
Field episode. Oh, people would love that.
Hell yeah.
They're just once again, though, I'm like, people would love it, but I don't know which kind of people, because I think that's the weird side of like streaming and doing things on the internet.
Yeah.
Is sometimes you're like, oh my god, I'm getting a lot of engagement, and then people are like, yeah, cause I like those toes, wiggle those piggies.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I showed my feet. I made the mistake.
You never. Yeah. You wouldn't think that. You're like, they're like, yeah, baby. Yeah. Love that. But.
Fun story, I once posted it. I was like, I'm going to post it with a low cut thing just to like experiment. And I got comments, put your shirt back on. Put your shirt back on.
Wow.
Don't try to do this. And I was like.
They're like, we know what you're doing here. Don't you try to do that with us.
Yeah. I was like, bummer.
You're like.
That made me want to do it more. I'm like, okay, this is going to be
That's what happened to me.
Time. It's going to be titty time.
Yeah. Now I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
What? That's my butthole.
Everybody has one.
Everybody has one.
Everybody has one.
Most people have one. Not everybody has a butthole.
That's true. Most
people
have buttholes. Yeah.
Most people have buttholes.
Yeah.
I know somebody was born without a butthole, though.
Oh, that's cool.
And I was like,
it's probably difficult, but that is cool.
It was cool. I thought it was cool because then you could say like, there's like, I love punny sayings, so I'm just like, everyone's like, opinions like assholes. Everybody's got one. And you'd be like, bitch, I don't. So maybe you should keep yours to your fucking self.
That would be the ultimate. That the person who was born without a butthole needs to go on like Real Housewives or like Love Island or some like show just to have a comeback like that. Have it staged.
I also know like it's probably not a chill thing to do on it, but like I don't know, I'm kind of nasty. Like you couldn't. I just know for me personally, I have a minor inconvenience and I make it everybody else's problem, you know. So if I didn't have a butthole and I had an ostomy bag and you pissed me off, I'm literally shitting on these hoes.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. I'm like,
we're unscrewing now.
Beep, beep, beep.
We're unscrewing now.
It's like a go-gurt. I'm going to fucking shit on you.
It's like a go-gurt.
I'm like, don't try me, bitch.
Yeah.
What's that smell? I shit on you.
Yep.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Just like a water gun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already I was talking about cancers being manipulative. We're also very prone to like revenge fantasies that sometimes become realities. And I'm not going to say when this happened, but maybe at some point in my life, I've used fecal matter in as a weapon of mass destruction. Because it's the ultimate taboo. You like poop on somebody's thing. Yeah. I don't want to like say, I haven't personally, but maybe I know a friend. Just in case anybody that wants to date me sees this. I don't want them to think.
Definitely not you.
I don't want them to think that I would poop on any of their things. Because I love them and I'm going to get really good at whatever they're into. Whether that be pickleball, baseball, comics.
Yep.
So, activity partners.
But if you go down the wrong path, if you do something really fucked up, beware that the number 2 could be after you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, yeah,
it's been a pleasure. I will release you back into the world.
Yes.
We'll have these clips up, and I'm very excited to see your new clip drop tomorrow.
Yes, my new I have a series called Joe and Barry. It's like an AI voiceover sketch series of Joe Biden and Barack Obama, and there's an aliens themed one tomorrow coming out.
They're so good. They're
Yeah, your comedy is so good.
Thank
Seriously,
you.
Talk about like you're such a good stand. I really enjoyed like your clips and like every time I've seen you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I'm like, I'll hoard that and I'll stick that in my pocket for later.
Yeah, keep that in the like self-esteem bank.
Yeah, I'm like, this one time they said I was good. They really, really liked me.
Yeah. Cool.
Bye everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I did it.